Atma Namaste, everyone. Christian R. Long, Life Enhancement Consultant, giving you a big and beautiful shout out on this amazing Monday evening. It doesn't quite look like evening behind me here I'm actually in Lakewood, Colorado, so right next to Denver. But I assure you the sun is setting and we're getting very close to nighttime. So I thought I'd give you guys a little live stream walking today versus driving, because everyone's like, dude, what are you doing driving and streaming? Very dangerous. So to make it safe for everybody, I thought, well, okay, I'll do a little walking around the neighborhood. So I wanted to cover the topic of horror movies. Now, before anyone gets all worked up, like in a horror movie, I want to let you know, since this soul was a very young child, it's been watching horror movies. What, want to know who's watching? Been watching horror movies. So like a 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old kid, I was watching movies that were totally not appropriate for my age, even remotely appropriate. So I guess that's kind of the effect of being born into a family where you're the youngest by 10 and 11 years. So I had 2 older brothers that are 10 and 11 years older than me. So, well, when you're a little kid and you want to hang out with your older brothers and do what they're doing, guess what? Hey, Tom! Atma Namaste, Prashant. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I ended up watching a lot of horror movies as a kid. And I mean a lot of horror movies. Tom doesn't want to know. He doesn't want to know the topic today because it's too scary. And we're not even in October yet, but I thought, why not cover this topic now? So, as you watch horror movies, energetically what is happening is there's so much that's happening, but the solar plexus chakra, which is located right below the breastbone, is getting highly stimulated. Highly stimulated. So, what is the solar plexus chakra? What does it deal with? It deals with the lower positive emotions and lower negative emotions. So lower positive emotions are like perseverance, drive, ambition, making things happen. Hey, Tom, it really is live. Angie, Atma Namaste. So there's a saying in New York City that if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. That's a function of the solar plexus chakra. So New York City is very solar plexus orientated. So when you want to like make it happen, when you want to overcome, you want to become a super, famous marketer or fashion designer, or you want to be a famous, what's the other one? Actor, right? So you go to a certain kind of like Broadway actor. The other kind of acting, you go to Hollywood. But if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. It's the solar plexus chakra. But the solar plexus also has negative lower emotions. And what are those? Sorry guys, I had someone calling me in. Anxiety, depression, stress, what else? Worry and fear. So when someone is in a constant state of fear, the solar plexus chakra is overactivated and over-energized. So think about people who are living in war-torn areas. They are constantly being bombarded with negative thoughts, negative emotions, and negative environments, right? Bombs, war-torn countries, right? These people are hyper stressed out all the time. And they're in a constant state of fear. So their solar plexus is overactivated and it's depleted and it's congested. So we have a lot of compassion for these people, right? So when we sit down and we watch a horror movie, what we are doing is we are artificially stimulating the solar plexus chakra with what we are seeing. But check this out. Think about the thoughts and the feelings of the director, of the producer, and the writer of a horror film, a horror play, a horror novel. Think of Stephen King, right? Think about the frame of mind that they're in, right? Because what makes something horrible? What makes something horrible is usually loss of life, chaos, mayhem, people being maimed, people being murdered, people being raped, all these like super, super lower, denser energies. Hey, Kathy, Atman Namaste. Charles, Atman Namaste. Kate, Atman Namaste. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're talking about horror tonight. I thought, what better time to do it than right now? I'll probably do another interesting post on Halloween. So, you are energetically tapping into the energy of the person who created the horror scenario. And do you think that raises your vibration or drops your vibration? Raises your vibration or drops your vibration? Because when you're happy, when you're joyful, when you're full of light, love, and power, and everything is going amazing in your life, how do you feel? High vibrationally, right? But when you're sad, angry, depressed, fearful, your vibration drops and your ability to produce positive results in your life goes out the window. And if you are highly sensitive and susceptible to certain energies, though the fear that you're tapping into when you watch a horror flick can affect you long after you watch that movie. How many, I know a lot of people actually, but how many people do you know who are grown adults who are terrified of the dark? They're adults and they're terrified of the dark. There's nothing in the darkness, but their solar plexus has been conditioned and programmed as children and as teenagers to live in a fear-based reality. Not a good place to be. So the reason I kind of bring up this whole topic, hey Sheila, Atman Namaste. The reason I bring up this whole topic is there's a movie. It was first a book, then it became made for TV movie, and then they are doing a remake of it. And for those of you who know the famous horror author Stephen King, which I grew up on, my brothers read all of his books. I read kind of some of his books because I wasn't really like wanting to get really deep into the mind of Stephen King. So I remember watching the movie It in the mid-'80s, and as a child watching that was terrifying. Well, guess what? They just released the latest version of the It. Now, they've spiced it up a little bit with a more amped up storyline, more realistic graphics, etc., to make it more like impactful. And part of me has been going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Should I watch it? Should I watch it? It's going to be scary. It's going to be really, really scary. But then I realized when I was out in my Fairfield visit in Fairfield, Iowa for the past 2 months, something dawned on me. Rashmi, Atman Namaste. Jennifer, Atman Namaste. Andrew, Atman Namaste. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to have you guys on. It dawned on me when I was out there in Fairfield, Iowa, that my energy body is too sensitive at this point in my life to really sit down and enjoy a horror movie and enjoy people getting tortured or tormented or aliens coming down and destroying everybody or bombs going off or all of these things, because being an empath and being sensitive to energy, the energies of those authors, those writers, those directors, those producers is influencing how I think, how I feel. And then if I'm working with clients later on in the day or the next day, and I'm trying to give them loving energy, peaceful energy, stillness, bliss, fulfillment, how effective am I going to be as an energy healer, right? Hey, Andrea, Atman Namaste. So, am I trying to deter you guys from watching horror movies? Not really, because the name of this post was, how do horror movies influence your energy body? So that's one of the things that it does. When you sit down and you look at something that is horrific or grotesque or cruel or mean, you absorb it into your consciousness, and then if you keep thinking about it and feeling about it, it's going to make your day, your week, your month not so good. And there's something in the world of energy healing or in spiritual studies called elementals or entities. Elementals or entities are little beings that we either create or they are in the environment that kind of latch on to us, and they can influence our thoughts and behaviors. Meaning, you sit down, you watch a horror movie, and you get completely scared out of your mind. What you just did is you allowed certain energies to go into your system, and then those energies want to be fed continuously over and over and over again because they have their own like little level of consciousness, right? This is taught more specifically in Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui's class, Pranic Psychotherapy, which is the level 3 class in pranic healing. I highly recommend it. But it basically talks about how do we heal the emotional mental body of phobias, addictions, depression, anxiety, things like that. And in that book and in that class, we talk about how these little elementals and these little entities, how they can negatively influence us in ways that we are not always conscious of, right? So if you have a tendency to be stressed out, if you have a tendency to be scared often or have anxiety or live a fear-based life, those little entities and elementals are lodged or stuck in your aura, your meridians, and your chakras. So a pranic psychotherapy session would be going into the emotional mental body of a person and removing them out of your system. So then you can heal, so then you can have more bliss and more happiness. Hey Lisa, Atma Namaste. Elizabeth, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. So that's pretty much what I want to cover for today about how horror movies influence your energy body. It's not a good thing. And it was interesting because I noticed over the past couple years as I was watching horror movies, I would take my arms and I would cross them over my solar plexus, mostly unconsciously, right? I would cross them over my solar plexus. And for those of you who have ever studied psychic self-defense or how to protect yourself energetically from negative influences, when you cross your arms over your solar plexus, you create like a shield, not allowing negative energies and emotions into your emotional body. So I was unconsciously doing that because my higher self was going, hey, what you're watching right now is not really good for your emotions. It's not really good for your state of beingness. So I was like, whoa, that was pretty high level. Laura's back. Laura, I'm not driving. I hope you're happy. Laura's always giving me a hard time. So, if you are looking to remove certain fears, phobias, anxiety, depression, and stress from your life, go to christianrlong.com and let me help you. I'm more than capable enough to assist you in this healing process, and it's what I do all the time. Why do you think I'm always on these streams? I got to talk to somebody about this. So I hope that helps. Let me know how I can serve you. And I wish you guys an amazing, phenomenal, beautiful, outrageously awesome evening. And just remember, next time you sit down to watch a horror movie with a loved one, recognize what is happening to your energy body, what is happening to you on the unseen that can eventually manifest into stress, anxiety, fear, not so good feelings. Again, I don't want to be the guy that ruins the party. If you're not sensitive to energy, you won't necessarily get what I'm talking about. But if you are sensitive to energy, you can kind of connect the dots of like, I felt calm, cool, relaxed, happy, joyful. I watched this horror movie and now I feel stressed out, anxious, fearful, and confused. Wonder why that is. Thanks, Tom. Very nice talking. I'm scared in the dark, but not stressed or in fear in any other environments. Return to feel for soon. Thanks, Tom. Love you, man. Amelia, Atma Namaste. So, I love you guys very much. Thank you for joining the live stream tonight. Any questions, feel free to private message me. Go to my website, christianrlong.com. Email me, christianrlong@gmail. However you need to get a hold of me. Love you guys. This is Christian R. Long, Life Enhancement Consultant, wishing you an amazing evening. Atma Namaste. Bye-bye.